Hello everyone, good evening. Scotty Gex here, instructor for both the excavation or introduction to excavation EX101 and the introduction to grades, that would be GR101. Welcome to the program if you're a new student, and it's good to see you moving on if you've been in the AOS program for a while. These two courses, as I've said in the video for the excavation course, these are very similar, or at least they complement each other. They're both will be talking about preparing for an excavation or site prep, surveying, grading, setting grades, and a little bit of plan, reading, profiles, cross-section, things that you probably heard of before. But we're going to go into depth about those things. But first, there's a little bit of housekeeping that we need to do. What you're looking at is a typical module. This is the course for the fall 2023 Introduction to Grades, Heavy Equipment Colleges. And I think you guys are let's see, some of you may be in the excavation course, but I'm not sure, but it's okay. So if you are, you have already seen the video for it. So we want to talk about the syllabus. I want to mention that the course calendar is an automatic deal that Canvas updates, but I do not use it. Let me say right now, if you want to know what's going on, go to the module. You will be doing module 1 through 10 during this course. Each module is a week, and there will be, so the term and the course itself will be 10 weeks. But we will go through the syllabus, and we're going to go through it right now. There's some things in there I need to talk about. And one of them is a little bit about the instructor. That's me. Here is the best way to reach me, our Canvas inbox, or you can email me, scotty.gex@hecofa.com, or my office phone, which is my cell phone, which is always in my pocket, is 405-684-6828. My established office hours, which means I need to be available, is from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. However, if you're stuck at 8 o'clock in the morning on a problem or 8 o'clock at night, reach out to me. I don't want you to get stuck. And speaking of that, we're not going to get behind in this. It's going to be up to you to manage your time, but it's going to be up to me to be there when you need me. So don't hesitate to contact me. We don't want you waiting around a week, not knowing what you need to be doing, or not being able to answer questions, etc., or having some kind of snafu with your Canvas LMS. So you have a responsibility to stay caught up. I have a responsibility to be around to help you if you do get behind, so you can stay caught up. So self-efficacy, self-management, time management, self-advocacy, and IT fluency are the essentials of an online course, because we don't see each other. We're not in the same room every day, and we don't have any of those. Oh, by the ways, I forgot. We just need to make sure we stay on board, stay making progress, and be sure to reach out if you get into help. And these are the best ways to do it. The course is GR101, Introduction to Grading, Fall 2023, and it starts Monday, I guess next Monday maybe, and it's going to go on till December 16th, or maybe closes on the 17th. So I hope to fill this up with some knowledge and let you take from that knowledge and be able to apply it when you leave here. That is the main goal that I have for you. I want you to think about why you're here. Uh, what do you hope to get from this course? Maybe in a tailgate, we'll talk about that. Tailgates will something we'll get to later. Uh, there's no meeting days. We are on a weekly basis here, and that's how we keep track of attendance. The course description is, well, I'm just going to read it. Introduces the process of preparing surfaces using heavy equipment for the future construction of roads. In other words, setting stakes. This process is known as site prep. The course will introduce the student to different types of earth moving equipment. Not so much. You'll get some of that in the excavation part of the program, but we will talk about how we're going to build a cut slope with the dozer and what kind of attachments we will need to do that. Let's see, it says students should also learn to identify and interpret basic construction states that are used to guide the equipment operators as they're grading these surfaces to specific standard. And by the way, this program is not about teaching you how to operate equipment. It's about you being able to teach others how to operate equipment, how to lay out a site, and things like that that are more toward the managerial supervisory kinds of positions, and that's what we're trying to prepare you for. The outcomes of the course are to demonstrate proper use of grading instruments, which we will be using probably a laser level, maybe an engineer's level, and a hand level. I'm a really fan of old school principles. Those are the foundations that all of this GPS and automated machine and grade control are based on. Nothing, absolutely nothing, except technology has changed since the pyramids, and that goes for mobile crane, rigging, and grading. The same processes and principles was used to build those pyramids a few years ago. We'll be talking about the slope grading. Not everything's flat. Buildings, houses, McDonald's, they all are pretty flat. They sit on pads. But a lot of the stuff that we do is to ensure that the site has proper drainage before, during, and after it's completed. We'll be learning how to calculate percent grade and slope ratios and interpret, of course, maybe I've said that, marks on the grade stake and view to mark a grade stake. Maybe in the in-person, we'll work on some heavy equipment techniques on the Saturday that we're up there. I'm not even sure if grades has an in-person. Well, actually, I'm sure it does. And those in-person deals or something to put on your calendar now, because if you have enrolled through the Georgia campus, that's where you'll do your 30-hour in-person training. And if you've enrolled through the Oklahoma City campus, that's where you will do your 30 hours of in-person training. And I usually try to get that done during the 8th week of the course. So that's not in carved in stone. That's what I shoot for. The excavating and gradebook handbook will work for this course. We won't use it as much in this course as we will in the introduction to excavation course. However, I don't really have a textbook. Most of this material comes from me. It's material that's I've gathered over the years, and it's hard to find. So, but it's an excellent teaching tools for the principles of surveying. This is the way I weight the quizzes, the tailgates, the essay assignments, and the tailgates are discussions, by the way, and the midterm exam and the final exam. So I'm really heavy on these essay questions. I think I get to see what you know on them, and I think you get to see what you know on them. Writing things down, explaining things are one of the best ways to ensure that you understand. Uh, You know, we don't do this. We're not in the classroom and I'll say, do you understand, George? And of course, usually you say yes or no, I'm lost. But we don't have that instant feedback, but we do have a way to get feedback, and that is through contacting me. What you're going to need to have is a PC, Mac, desktop, laptop, tablet with high-speed internet access. Canvas is, you can use Mozilla Firefox, Chrome, Edge, or Safari browsers. However, for your remote proctoring, which is done through an application called Proctorio, I think some of you are mostly familiar with that, you will need to use Chrome, Microsoft Word, or an equivalent word processing software. You're using Google Docs and R365. You can do all of that or any of that to submit. Uh, like if I want you to draw me something, take a picture of it, put it on your laptop, make a file out of it, and upload it. Maybe that's one way we'll do our submission. Canvas support. Actually, dialing this number right here, I've got some really good help, and they stayed with me until I understood or got the problem solved. So I'm really impressed with this support deal. Now, if and you can go into the URL or the search, use your search bar up there at the top and say, in Kansas, how do I? You can do that. And you'll go to forums and different places where, you can get answers. And if it's not too deep technically, I may know how to do what you're trying to do that you can't do done. I think you go through some kind of in your admissions process, a little deal to see if you have trouble with or navigating Canvas. But not sure what that's called or how in depth it is. But they want to see if you need if you got some weak points, so you can get some help. And you need to complete that Canvas student orientation, or you will not be able to submit coursework, take assessment, quizzes, or have full functionality. That sounds pretty uh, stringent, but I'm sure that we're going to do what it takes to get you through that. But you're going to have to do it. We can't do any of this stuff for you. Attendance. We do have attendance policies here. It's basically, as I said before, attendance is based on a weekly basis. You need to be here at least once a week, and you need to participate in some kind of instructional activity. So they call it academic relating. But my main concern is every week we'll have a discussion. And that's the way I'll give you attendance for being here, is by you participating in that discussion. That's my main deal I look for. And I have the authority to determine what constitute commencements of attendance in a tailgate. And that is making a post and making your other two responses, what we'll get to later. Code of contact is based on respect. Uh, I'm going to respect you, and I will insist that you respect me. We can disagree, but we will remain civil if we have some disagreements here. And I welcome anybody that wants to challenge, what I've put in here. And believe it or not, I have made mistakes. So if you see something that don't look right, tell me, hey, what do you mean here? This doesn't look right. I don't mind that. We'll fix it. Oh, this is just going on about that we're going to do our best. Uh, and I want you to do your best. It takes 200% to be successful in any course, and that's 100% from me and 100% from you. Uh, let's see, activities complete online. So also the instructor I'll be grading your assignments and submitting comments. When we get to the tailgate, I want to talk a little bit more about that. Moving on through. This is good reading here. It's just be cordial, be civil, be to the point, where this is the atmosphere, even though it's hard to imagine an atmosphere here, but I don't look at you like I looked at you when I was teaching in certificate program. My expectations here are way higher than they were then. All I was really worried about is that you were safely operating equipment. That's what I was trained to do. Here, I want to know how you communicate. I want you to start thinking about what professionalism is, and your behavior within this course and without this course. No profanity. If you if you need to, it's different than your certificate course. I can assure you. We're adults here completely. We're grown up. So it says, that's the guy that had this, Mr. J. My name is Scotty Gex. You can call me Mr. Gex. I will answer to Scotty. Uh, I need to change that. We use the same copy paste uh, on our etiquette. I'll get around to changing that. But I'm Scotty. Uh, Communicating what you can expect from me. If you send me a message in Canvas via the inbox, email, or give me a phone call, I'm going to get back with you as soon as I can, and probably within those hours. But again, if it's a little 8 o'clock at night, and you're stuck on something, even though my office hours are from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m., I'm going to answer the phone. I just don't want it to be 2 o'clock in the morning, 11 at night, those kinds of things. I'm going to be prepared to the best of my ability to have good presentations. And I want you to be prepared to take advantage of this opportunity, to take advantage of those presentations. I will listen to your needs and concerns, but I will also need to be fair to other students. So if you get behind, uh, I still have those other students. We have 10, 12 students in this class. So you got to keep up, guys. And I'm going to give you every opportunity to do it. Everything we do is due at the end of the week by 11:59 p.m. There are times when I will extend that for reasons that are beyond our control, that put us behind. Or if you have personal issues, if you notify me in advance, I'm going to help you. Now, if something just drops in out of the blue and you have to go to the doctor, or your child is sick, or things like that, we're going to work with you on that. There it is there. If you have work-related or family issues that will interfere with the testing date, just let me know that it's coming up if you can. Uh, and if it's warranted, we'll do it. Weekly assignments are due Sunday, no later than midnight. And any work uh, submitted the following Monday after 5 p.m. will receive 10% reduction in points. Don't do that. You know, I'm not going to give you more than you can handle, but I can promise you, you're going to have to put in some time. You're going to have to put in some time to not get behind. There's a You can get to the catalog here, and there's a lot more about your behavior. Maybe they give you a catalog, but this is how you can reach it. This is the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. I'm sure you have a copy of it. It is in the catalog. There's lots of things that you vets, and if you are a vet, thank you for your service, uh, have to comply with and make sure that's uh, up to date. And I'm not sure what all that is, but we will have someone that can help you if you need help with your VA monies and things like that. There's a grievance policy. I'm not going there. It's rather lengthy, but if you have a problem with me and you and I can't solve it, we'll take it to the next issue. And I've gone through these things where that a student felt that I was being unfair, in a grade, and I didn't feel the same way, so we put it forward, and never how it comes out, it comes out. But I'm not here to get you. I read a good book one time called Winning, and it said to focus on what's being done right, not what's being done wrong. We always look for the bad, when we need to be looking for what's good. As far as people, students and people that are working for us, I'm talking about. So these things are automatically popping up here as I create them. Uh, don't don't take this to the bank. It's going to be right eventually, but when you have quiz, there may be a quiz 6 in there between there. Go to the module, whatever's in the module, that's what you need to be doing. So this is about all we have to do with the syllabus. I want to go back to the home page. That's a good place to go when you don't know where to go. But really go down this. You have a panel over here, and you may be able to see my little arrow or finger or whatever it is. But it's the things that you need. Some of the things have like an eyeball that's marked through, and there are things that you don't need that I need. So, big blue button, there's going to be a module in here, which I want to go to the module right now. Here's like week one. It's going to be a simple week. It's going to be a focus on introduction. It's going to be focused on completing some things like using the big blue button as a student, which I want to talk about. I hope I don't forget. There are two kinds of classes in an online or online hybrid, uh, and that is like a synchronous class, and then there's an asynchronous. The asynchronous is like this video, like this class. You're not getting asked questions. You're just listening to what I'm saying. And you can pause and rewind or go back, hit timelines, and have me, be able to see this again. But some of my classwork will come at you as what's called asynchronous, and that's what this is. It'll be a video explaining something. Now, there is synchronous class, and that's done through this big blue button here. So you want to know how to do that. It's very, very simple. It is Canvas's version of Zoom. And I would like to have one of those one-on-ones, face-to-face kind of deals once every other week, let's say. You know, the hard thing about those is getting everybody in the same, not in the same place, but getting them in Canvas at the same time. It's a little bit of the struggle, but I'm going to push you to be present at those, because some of my grades on your subject on your subject matter, such as your assignments and things like that, will be done and during those discussion, and I will be grading on you live, your live responses during the big blue button. Part of the discussion may be in the synchronous mode, which is pretty typical. That's like where you go to the discussion board, open it up, and you put an initial reply in there, and then there's more to talk about that, which we'll get into in just a second. But go through this big blue button when you get a chance, and if you have anything you don't understand, let me know. Like I say, it's a pretty simple deal. Tailgate overview. This tailgate has cost people more points than any other thing that we have here. And we have some pretty rigorous subject matter to deal. But this is what you have to have in each of your tailgates. You have to have 3 responses. The first one is an initial post. And that's like I may pose a question, I may pose a scenario, and I may prompt you in another way. And then you're going to respond to that. I need your perspective on that. I need to know what you think about that response, and it may be a direct question. How do you, you know, and can you think of other ways to do this? I need you to look deep and expand on these things. Like A kind of a general thing to think about in answering a question or a prompt is you need to explain it and interpret it. What does it mean to you? How would you apply it? Uh, what is the, do you have a perspective? What does it look like to you? Uh, can you empathize? In other words, can you understand what I'm saying? And if not, ask a question. But let's make this a discussion. Let's don't make this a check the box thing that we do every week. This is going to be a discussion. You'll be graded on the quality of your responses. We use the term intellectually engaging. That's just saying make it interesting, make it applicable, make it relative to what we're talking about. Just do your best. Take some time. Set aside time to think about these responses. Grammar, sub sentence structure, all that stuff will be going to your grade. And this is another thing. Don't wait to the last minute. That's all it says, because everybody needs a chance to see everybody else's response. Usually there's going to be three things you'll be responding to, or one thing you'll be responding to three times. But I need three posts from you on just about all engagements, unless in the directions for that tailgate I tell you different. So again, don't wait to the last minute, uh, just before 11:59. Get this stuff in on the due dates. They all have them. The initial response right there, Tuesday by 11:59. Your first response to of two replies to a student, that's your second post. Need to have that done by Thursday. And have this one done by Sunday at 11:59. That's the deadline, but that'll be your third post. And get it done sooner than that so other people can see what you say and give them a chance. Uh, you can't see any of your cohorts, that's your fellow students. You can't see anything until you post, reply, or whatever it's called. And then you can see what everybody else is saying. I will join in from time to time and try to keep it rolling or slow it down, whatever. That's my job. And I say, but if you're in a discussion with someone on something, and back and forthness is what we're after here, and you have something to say to someone's reply, you're not required to stop at three responses. This is a discussion. If it continues past what it needs to continue, let it continue. Uh, that's what I said a while ago. Your tailgate won't show. You can't see anybody's post until you put in your initial response. Now, after this, we'll get into some. Let me see if I can back out of here. Back to what this module looked like. Everything under here is something for you to do, especially if it's indented like this is not. So it's just a title telling you that below here is instructional resources. This, see, it's not a link, it's a title. So it's your overview. It's your course overview. And you click on it, and I don't have it. Yes, I do. I have quite a bit in here. I forgot. It's just a description of why we're teaching this and what it will lead to, and and it's all, just boiling it down to this is all known as site preparation. So back up out of here. The tailgate overview, I just went over that. This is the actual tailgate, and it's about introductions, and I want to take a look at it while you're in here. So sometimes I let it be a free-for-all, but sometimes I'm really trying to guide you. It says you'll be required to submit 3 responses as followed. You'll have an initial post. you'll have your first response to another student. You'll have your second, and it says about the same thing that's up there. I'm just trying to get us to a point where that uh, we're watching, paying attention to what we're saying and how we're saying it. And the one thing that I can see it in an instant, because I get to know your capabilities pretty quick. I can tell when you don't proofread. Proofread it, proofread it, and just make some corrections before you hit send uh, back. And this is what it looks like, and that's where you'll click and make your first response. Let me back out of here, and because I'm just about through a couple of things that I wanted to look at, I believe. Week one is just going to be really light. We're going to have a, a grade. That's the subject, pre-test, and you'll need to get that done right away. It's just a test to see what you know about grades. So as soon as you get access to it, like right now, it's not published. I'll get it published prior to Monday. You can actually come in here once you receive your invitation and look around, but some of the things I haven't published yet. Week two is when the goodie that we get down to the nitty gritty. We'll be talking about terms. I have lots of terms to talk about. You don't have to memorize them. We're just going to talk about them. They may just come up where I have to ask you a question about it, but it's terms relevant to this course. Uh, this is Introduction to Grade and Grade Setting. It's just going to talk a little bit about the position of grade setter, which is not a dying thing, but we don't use near as many grade states as we used to. But as I said before, you'll still see a project superintendent out there with a hand level, and he'll be checking, and what he's checking is GPS. Because GPS is like any other kind of computer software stuff. It's garbage in, garbage out. If they're not putting the right information in there, it's going to come out wrong because it doesn't know. It just does what you tell it to do. We're going to start with this course. It's a mini course in state marking. Uh, uh, I'm just going to open it up for a second to give you an idea of what I like to do. This is this. You don't get any more basic than this. We'll start with cut stakes, but we're gonna move pretty quick and get into this. Will all be just basic stuff. Even how to, talking about things, how to write, how to be clear because an operator has to read that. Driving stakes in firmly. That's going to be clear, and I maybe show you a little bit more. We're going to learn the engineer scale. Now maybe most of you or some of you or all of you may know how to read an engineer scale. It's intense. Here's where 1 foot is. So right there, 0.9 feet. But I want you to watch this video. I think this guy does a good job of explaining the tenths and the hundredths of a foot. Uh, we do that. You'll be using engineer scales. Unless you get into carpentry, they're still feet and inches. But it's hard to multiply 3 feet and 4 inches. It's 3 feet and 6 inches, let's say. It's easier to multiply 3.5 because that's what 3. And there's conversions in here to get you to from inches here to engineer to tenths. And can't help myself. I'm wanting to teach, and it's not time for that. But anyway, uh, there's the things that'll get you through the basics, get you to the engineer scale, and move on into some vertical measurements, and that's where the real fun begins in my mind. That takes you to a whole new level. If you went through the certificate program, you may have been grades, but it's been my experience that the instructors at the campuses really don't get into grades, but we're going to get into grades. So I'm going to leave it there. See if I can get out of here and stop this Video, I don't think there's too much. I said a lot. I can talk about grades, just tons and tons of information. I actually taught myself how to set grade with that grading and handbook. What is it? Excavation and grading handbook. I really like that book. It's a little antiquated as far as pictures go, black and white, but the information in there is really good. So we'll be using it a lot, and I have additional things. We're going to do some high level stuff in this course. Just going to touch on it. It's going to be engineering level things, but I wouldn't put you in there if I couldn't get you out of it. Everybody's heard of a mass diagram, or that if you took Introduction to Earth Moving and a certificate, well, we're gonna start learning how to interpret that thing, because it tells you things about estimating, about the direction to move the dirt, the the amount of dirt, the distance of hauls, and really good thing to know about. So with that teaser, uh, let's just stop. Uh, Weekend's coming up. I'll be seeing you. We'll start Monday. Monday will be just the week, starting the first week. It'll be the second week in both of these courses. Uh, Introduction to Excavation and Introduction to Grading. So, from this point on, you have been invited, all of you, to the course that I'm teaching. Some a few have been invited to excavation. I think we have a introduction to excavation. I think we have about 10 in the grades 1, but that's okay. Doesn't matter. I can deal with it. I can handle it. Have a good weekend, and thank you.